What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Laws, OSS 980, other side of sports. We're here to talk about these draft picks. You know, the Redskins came into this draft. They made their selections. Everybody knows their first round pick. If you watch the draft this past Thursday, they selected the best player, who I think is the best player in the draft, and Chase Young. He's nothing short of a beast. Can do everything. I know it's premature, but we can just say Hall of Famer right now. I think he'll be a Pro Bowler in his first year. I think he'll be potentially Defensive Player of the Year. He's that good. So I'm really excited about just being able to see him. And as far as a grade for that particular pick, it's A+. I mean, the Redskins couldn't have done a better job. Glad they didn't reach on a quarterback or do something, some funny business. Just get the guy who's the best. And he's the best in the draft. So, I think for the Ron Rivera regime, their coming out party, this was a good choice by them in the first round. Third round, they went ahead and selected Antonio Gibson out of Memphis. 6'1". This guy is a speedster. Has wheels. Ran a 4.39. Had solid production. I think he had about 1,000 yards or 700 or so yards for the season. But just the opportunities he got, he maximized. So this is a guy who intrigues me. He played a little bit of running back. He played receiver. Looks like he has a lot of versatility in his game. He can do a lot of different things. So I expect him to actually be utilized within the offense. To what capacity? I mean, that's yet to be seen. But I think he'll come in right away and have value for this team because he can do a lot of different things and he can get away. He has the speed to get away at the next level. So I anticipate him getting, a sizable role. Even playing some running back, some receiver. I'm interested to see how he gets utilized in the offense. But for an offensive weapon, excellent pick. I gave this pick a B+ grade because I think he has a lot of potential and a high ceiling. Next, with the fourth round, 108 selection pick, they decided to get offensive tackle Saahdiq Charles from LSU. He played, with the LSU line and was solid. He had some off the field troubles and issues that kind of, I would say hampered his success. But the guy is solid. The guy can definitely play, has, talent. I know losing Trent probably went into this pick, and it's going to be interesting to see, where Saahdiq falls in as far as his role. I think he'll have an opportunity to play. Offensive line is one of those positions where you're always looking for somebody to try to come in and fill in because you run into injuries at that position. So, that's a point of weakness for our team. So if you can get something out of this guy, then I think you make that move. My opinion, that pick is the grade is a C+. Then you have another pick that they received in the fourth round was and they selected wide receiver Antonio Gandy-Golden, 6'4" receiver out of Liberty. It's a taller guy. If you want a player comparison, think Devontae Parker. He's not the greatest route runner, but he's a big target. Can high point the ball. Has some talent. It has ability. Not a bum, but I just think when it comes to these later round picks, 4th and 5th and 6th round picks, you have to weather your expectation. But the guy definitely has talent and upside. Can be a red zone target. If you run in-cut routes or slant routes, I think you could lean on this guy. So we'll see, when training camp starts, just what he can do. But as far as his size, he has sneaky speed when he's playing on the field. So that should be noted. With the fifth pick or the fifth round pick, they selected another offensive lineman, center out of San Diego State, Keith Ismael. So there wasn't a lot of tape on him. I tried to look up and see if I could find some tape on this guy. When you start getting into 6th and 7th, later rounds, it's just hard to really find tape on some of these guys unless you're like actually scouting at the particular school. But you know, he was solid from the tape that I saw. Not a overly powerful or aggressive guy at the center position, but he just looked to be solid. Like, he just could play the center position. So, you know, you're always, like I say, you're always looking for depth at the offensive line, and if you can get a center who can contribute, you know, that's all you could ask for. So we'll see what he brings to the table. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, this dude, he's the best tackle we ever seen. I don't know. I have seen minimal tape on this guy to be able to tell you definitively if he can play or not. That's yet to be seen. We'll see when camp starts. With the 7th round pick, the Washington Redskins selected safety Cameron Curl out of Arkansas. Another one of those guys who, you know, 3-year starter, produced fairly well at his position. He did a lot. I would say he had some moments. You know, as you're looking at the game tape, you see that he has some talent. Not a bum for sure, but you know, what are you gonna get out of him? I know he had an issue with fraternizing with one of the team's dancers on another team before, I guess, his final game in college, and he got suspended for that game. I don't know if you would consider that off the field issues or what you would classify that as, but nonetheless, I think there's talent here. Again, you're just trying to see what comes out of him actually getting reps and playing. I mean, safety position is something that, you know, right now we have Landon Collins, but you're always trying to look for other people who can, you know, you get an injury, somebody can step in. Special teams, I think Cameron Curl will actually, from what I just saw, he's tenacious. He definitely goes after the ball. You know, sometimes he gets beat on double moves, but for the most part, he's talented. So I think special teams would be a good place for him to like kind of come in and actually contribute right away. Then you have 7th round pick DN James Smith Williams from NC State. This is the only pick that I felt like, oh, I'm sorry, for Cameron Curl, I give that as a C. For Khaleke Hudson, who I skipped, who I actually think Khaleke Hudson is actually a guy I think can actually contribute. He's a little undersized at the linebacker position. The Redskins picked him in the 5th round. A little undersized, but the dude can get after it. I like what I saw from his game tape. Definitely has the mentality of a linebacker. Definitely just, you know, he's a pest, and he doesn't stop, and I like that, you know. I don't know, when it comes to run plays and stuff, he'll probably get mushed and pushed around, but you know, if you have him, you know, in a passing down and you're putting him in there, I think there's some upside with him. I like him a lot. I give that pick a C+ for Khaleke Hudson. I mean, just the stuff I saw out of him from Michigan, he definitely has talent. This guy, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes noise in camp, just because of the way he plays. He plays it, you know, he's going after it. So you saw that in all of his game film. Like, he didn't really take plays off, and so I think he might surprise a lot of people. With the other 7th round selection, they selected DN James Smith Williams, NC State, as I was saying before. This guy's, I don't think he'll make the team. That's just me being completely honest. I mean, what I saw in the game tape, he had limited playing. He only played about 6 games or so, and I just didn't see enough to really say, oh, this guy, he's it. He just, I don't foresee him actually making the team. And I mean, I know it's early, and I'm trying to give him a chance, but I'm just telling you what I see. I didn't see anything special out of his game tape to make me feel like this guy is the guy, or But it's a 7th round pick, so at that point you're just kind of taking your chances and see if you can get some juice on the squeeze. So and then lastly, the Redskins selected Thaddeus Moss, son of former Hall of Fame Randy Moss, out of the free agent pool, and I like it. I mean, you need a change at tight end. Jeremy Sprinkle is just not it to me. Like, I hate to say he's a bum. I mean, anybody who makes it to the league is not necessarily a bum, but this guy just does not produce. And as far as the raw talent is concerned, I know he has that, but there's nothing there that makes me excited about him playing. So, with that said, I like Thaddeus Moss. I think he will definitely come in and contribute. Hopefully you can get him as your tight end at some point, that he can learn the offense. Everybody's starting from scratch, so I'm not really worried about him necessarily learning the offense. But yeah, I mean, his dad's a Hall of Famer, so there's some wealth of knowledge there. Maybe you even have Randy kind of around the receivers here, kind of helping out in some capacity. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it just could go a long way. So if you can make that happen, make that happen. But I like the pick. I give the Thaddeus Moss selection a B, solid B for a free agent, because we need people who can help Dwayne Haskins on that offense. And I think he might be able to. To me, his comparison, I hate to make this comparison, but just from a football standpoint, it just is what it is. Like Aaron Hernandez, like that's how he would function in the tight end position to me for the team. So that's the report. A lot of you guys don't know these new draft picks coming in. I didn't know a few of them myself, so I just try to do the heavy lifting for you guys. So hopefully this helps you. And HTTR.